Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and it's Tuesday, which means some news has dropped. Yep, today Creative Assembly have just dropped a blog regarding Yuan Bo the Jade Dragon, which is going to go over his faction mechanics and then go over the details regarding the rest of his roster. So it's not a very large blog, but we're going to go over it because it's kind of exciting. Obviously, this is the first Cathayan faction that we've had since launch, and it kind of builds up of the stuff that we already had, just to make it a little bit more fleshed out. So yeah, let's get started. Obviously, remember that if you haven't read it yet, there is a free ebook that was released in relation to Grand Cathay and Yuan Bo to give him a little bit more fleshed out lore. If not, there is a video on my channel that you can check it out. I read over all of it and we go over some details. But yeah, let's jump into the actual blog. So Yuan Bo is the Jade Dragon and is the legendary lord for Shadows of Change. Obviously, we've known this for a while. We do get a little bit of a unit description, which is always kind of nice, so let's read over that. Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, rules over Central Cathay and leads the court of celestial sorcerers. He is happy to be regarded as a mere bureaucrat, administrator, and scribe, as this allows him the freedom to conduct his true spy master duties in private. As a potent spellcaster with the ability to transform into a dragon at will, Yuan Bo is a fierce combatant on and off the battlefield, able to soar above the enemy lines confronting airborne units. He then utilizes a mix of spells from the Law of Light, Yin, Yang, and Heavens on the ground to turn the tide of battle. Little wonder he's often mistaken for the Emperor of Grand Cathay. This is kind of weird, because as far as we were aware, all the dragons kind of were one of either Yin or Yang, and then another Law of Magic, but having two Laws of Magic there, plus Yin and Yang, it's quite interesting. Honestly, he must be extremely powerful. It kind of throws off a few theories that I've had about the Cathayan dragons, which we'll likely talk about after the release of the DLC, because, again, all of us, as far as we were aware, thought that each dragon was one of the color laws and then mixing up with Yin and Yang, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait until we get some more information on lore on Grand Cathay, whenever that may be. But we have a new mechanic called Matters of State. The courts act as per Yuan Bo's whim. Though never overtly cruel, Yuan Bo is a wrought iron leader with the power to do as he pleases, and he can embrace that influence with the Matters of State faction mechanic. This global system allows him to enact a large range of actions upon provinces, settlements, armies, and characters to the benefit of Grand Cathay. He is aided by two key resources, stone and steel. With stone, Yuan Bo may grow and develop his empire through the construction of buildings, as well as removing treacherous diplomatic penalties, cracking down on corruption, and signing fiscal treaties. With steel, Yuan Bo's forces are empowered by conscripting reserves, turning garrisons into active armies, oh wow, that's pretty cool, guaranteeing the success of a hero action, or by taking control of a neutral or allied army alongside many other perks. Stone and steel must remain in balance to ensure Yuan Bo's strategies can be orchestrated efficiently, with some unique state actions locked behind the harmony of the two resources. Okay, yeah, this sounds pretty cool. So far we've had some pretty good examples. I'm imagining there's going to be a few more per side. It's kinda, I guess, the way they've described it, very similar to the Xinqian mechanic in a sense. Yeah, it kind of sounds to me like a Cathayan version of just changing of the ways, just two different types, which might be cool. We're going to have to wait and see. Usually not long after they do one of these blog reveals, they do a gameplay reveal, so yeah, I imagine it'll be at some point this week, which, yeah, cool, why not? Alright, and we get a little screenshot in-game. We can see a Matter of State. It doesn't really say what it is, but Leve the Provinces kind of sounds like it will just turn a garrison into a unit or something? I don't know. What we can notice, though, is that harmony seems to have gone. Obviously, we got stone and steel up there. The thing is that we can also see it in the settlement. Shillong does have a harmony stuff, so maybe they've kind of reworked harmony a little bit, which would be kind of nice, considering that it was a bit of a pain, let's be honest. Yeah, so far, everything does look kind of nice. Obviously, it's still Total War, it's still Cathay, so everything looks like a Cathayan faction. Pretty interesting that it's turn 3 and he's already got access to 4 settlements, so I'm imagining that you either start with 2 or you're just going to be quite quick to move. But yeah, so far so good. The next mechanic is Empower the Compass. So yeah, it's the Wuxing War Compass, but it looks a little bit expanded. Let's read over it. Yuan Bo's Wuxing Compass hosts 8 directional states, 4 of which are unique to him, that he may engage with, each offering sizable rewards and benefits. Tasked with traveling to critical locations and constructing relays to empower the compass, Yuan Bo acquires a new directional state with every relay constructed. In doing so, he may choose to direct the winds of magic towards Ashia, okay, unlocking the ability to manipulate and harness the strength of any given province directly. Alternatively, he may direct the compass towards the Broken Lands, inspiring a fervor in the people of Cathay that helps forge an almighty alliance. Okay, I mean, it's not really too unique, is it, compared to what we've had with the Changeling? It's a little bit disappointing, I must say. I'm not trying to sound negative here, but you can see it on screen right now. I mean, there's constant bonuses and stuff, which is kind of nice, but it's literally just adding directions to the compass, which we had since vanilla. Maybe the previous mechanic, the whole Matters of State stuff, is just really large, because this is just adding into something vanilla, which, in all honesty, was perfectly fine, and a lot of people just kind of ignored anyway. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of ignored a lot too. But I'm going to keep an open mind because, again, maybe the Matters of State is just that intricate. So I'm going to try and keep positive here until we can see it. Plus, you know, we got to talk about the units now, and I'm really excited to talk about the Jade Lion and so on. So obviously we've got two new Lion units. These are the Jet and the Jade, something that a lot of people have been expecting for a long, long time, because obviously they were actually a part of Grand Cathay way back in the day when Cathay actually had some models. I think like 3rd edition or something, which is kind of scary to think about, but let's read over. Two unique Guardian Lions will join Grand Cathay in Shadows of Change, living statues formed from Jade or Jet. The Lions are enormous, pristine, and magical entities that serve masterfully. The Jade Lion is a magical conduit, a spellcaster capable of providing supporting sorcery across the battlefield. It is boosted by the Jade Conduit ability that grants an increase to the power recharge rate. Okay, that's not too bad. Plus, with the Jade Dragon's Breath, a unique bound spin on a Cathayan classic, the Jade Lion coats the enemy in green flames, violently tipping the scales of harmony towards Yang. Okay, let me just point it out 1 second. That green flames is usually warpstone, right? And this kind of makes me think that the whole Jade stuff, it's like a little theory that a lot of people have been having, that Jade is just like purified warpstone or something. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what actually happens with Jade in terms of lore. Let's move on. The Jet Lion, on the other hand, exists to balance its owner's yang with its own yin. Rather than serving as a conduit to friendly magic users, the Jet Lion is instead a blocker for the opposition spells. Using the Guardian Shield passive ability, the Jet Lion buffs the magic resistance of all surrounding allied units, while deflecting projectiles back towards those that dare cast them with the bound missile mirror spell. Okay, I don't really use that spell a lot, so I'm not too sure how good it is. If you guys have used it a lot, yeah, just say it in the comments. Is it actually useful? Because believe me, I just don't really use it. Both of them sound pretty interesting anyway, and you know, they look kind of cool. We can see the Jade Lion up here. He's a big boy. I was expecting them to be a little smaller, kind of like a monstrous mount in the future, but apparently not. I mean, we've seen it in the trailer. It's quite large. Yeah, I mean, they sound awesome. I like the Jade one. It sounds like it's better than the Jet one. Though, mind you, some magic resistance, especially when you're dealing with loads of Zinchian forces, could be very, very useful. We obviously have Village up close to us in Grand Cathay, and it does seem like he's going to start in Cathay too. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be cool. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a classic unit from way back in old Hammer days, reimagined and redone, which is something that we can all kind of appreciate. At least I can as a tabletop player. Okay, we're going to move on to the Jiangju War Drum. Grand Cathay commonly mount war drums above their city gates to be struck when troops are to be roused for battle. However, the time has come to take the music on tour with the Jiangju War Drums. Roll the drums onto the battlefield atop a chariot and pound your troops to victory with its thunderous beat, strong support bonuses, and harmony amplification. With a disdain for the Dragon Emperor ability, the dragons... The ability sounds weird. Sorry, I know I'm kind of dropping the flow here, but disdain for the Dragon Emperor just sounds like you don't like the Dragon Emperor. Right? Should be disdain of the Dragon Emperor, right? I don't know, that sounds super weird, but let's continue. Where was I? Oh yeah, the drums grant a huge area effect buff to allied units, rendering them immune to psychology and increasing their melee power. Okay, pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day, that's something that's supposed to be expected. These drums are supposed to make troops stronger. It's something that we've seen like in real life. Musicians are there just to inspire stuff. Obviously not actually increasing their damage and so on, but you get what I mean. One thing I can say is it looks freaking cool. It's something that, yeah, is likely going to be horrendously slow. I am imagining that Grand Cathay hasn't seen the possibilities of just removing oxen and using war horses to pull carts. You know, kind of like Empire war wagons and stuff. It's going to be slow. You're going to have to keep your troops around. Obviously, you're doing that anyway because of the whole harmony battle mechanic and so on. But yeah, it's going to be very, very slow. The oxen aren't really the fastest thing in Grand Cathay, I imagine. Okay, now we have the Onyx Crowmen, which is something that a lot of people have been hyped up for. As agents of the Moon Empress, the Onyx Crowmen are elite spies for the Cathay realm. I don't know why, but a lot of stuff here seems to be written strangely. And maybe it's just because I'm dyslexic, but it just sounds a bit odd. Yeah, let's carry on. These vicious creatures with a humanoid winged appearance, sharp beaks, and sharper claws also boast eye-covered bodies for heightened visibility. Be sure to keep an eye out for them. I don't see eyes, though. I mean, I guess we'll check the other stuff. Use these cost-effective scouts well in battle by taking advantage of their eyes of the Empress passive, granting them a considerable buff to visibility and spotting range. Okay, that's what they mean. Allowing them to stalk their prey from a distance. So, they're scouts. They're also called elite spies. I mean, let's be honest, we've seen enough trailer and stuff footage to basically just say, yeah, this is basically just the Cathayan version of the Furies. And don't get me wrong, they look very, very cool. We've seen enough of them in the trailers and so on. I just hope that they're better than the Furies, because the Furies are only really good when it's the Zintian one and maybe the Sineshi one. We need something like this. Fast-moving flyers would be great. Hopefully they've got Vanguard too, because it would make them much, much more better. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And lastly, we have the Celestial General. This is a lord choice for Grand Cathay. Only the most powerful beings rise to the rank of Celestial General. Each general is a skilled warrior wielding weapons gifted from the armories of Wei Jin. Leading from the front, strategy is not necessarily a forte. That's left to the wizards and magistrates of Cathay. With their active ability Celestial Sweep, the general swings its mighty warhammer in a wide arc, dealing extreme amounts of armor-piercing damage. Okay, cool. This is not too bad. A good melee guy, because let's be honest, the other lord choice we have is pretty weak. So yeah, this is pretty good. The passive ability Will of the Dragons increases leadership, emboldening those who fight beside them, while the unique active ability Lord of Grand Cathay increases the resolve and morale of nearby allies while buffing melee defense and physical resistance. As a skilled warrior with sweeping melee attacks and leadership support capabilities, the Celestial General is the ideal lord to lead any other battles. Okay, so you can just basically ignore the other one. It's not too bad. I mean, he looks very, very cool. Who doesn't like a big Warhammer? It is, of course, very Warhammer. Roll credits. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what he does. I hope he does a lot of damage. I mean, they've kind of hyped him up a little bit, so he's going to have to do something. And I'd love to have a proper melee fighter, because let's be honest, Grand Cathay is a bit of a mosh pit sometimes, especially when you're dealing with Lokia, Village, Zatan, Deathmaster Snickage. Sometimes, you know, Greaser's coming in, and obviously you've got Ghost that kind of can be a problem. So yeah, it would be nice just to see a few changes here and there. Alright, so we're getting a gameplay showcase soon. They've confirmed that there, and they said that, yeah, keep your eyes open for Mother of Stankia. This is the other character that we haven't really seen too much information on just yet. I will say, from what we've seen here, it does feel like Cathay is getting the short end of the stick mechanically. I don't know. I don't want to sound mean here, because obviously we haven't seen stuff yet properly and so on, but yeah, it does kind of feel it, doesn't it? I don't know. One of the things is, when it comes to Lord Packs, is one faction usually gets more attention than the other one. And I've always been kind of worried about the free race situation for Lord Packs now, because Creative Assembly don't do too well in balance in terms of content. We had a good amount of balance when it came to, say, for example, you know, the Silence and the Fury, and obviously the Twist and the Twilight. So I'm hoping that kind of balance does arrive here. We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, it's cool. The Jade Lion is cool. I'm a big fan of what it looks like and so on, and that's a big thing. The War Drum, I can't wait to see in action, and I can't wait to see properly what the Matters of State are. But again, until that time, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and yeah, we'll have a bit of a discussion. With all that being said, again, have a great day, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.